You're listening to the Tribe Nail Tech podcast, where nail techs find inspiration and motivation to take their career to the next level. We welcome you here. Now tribe up and slay your day. Here is your host, Becky Bunnell.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tribe Nail Tech podcast. I am your host, Becky Bunnell, and this episode is sponsored by Sogel Nails. And today I have a special guest with me. It is Tiffani Cordoza. How are you, Tiffani?
Hi, how are you? I'm doing pretty good.
I'm good. We're just hanging in there, right?
Yep.
And she's outside and she's sporting her Tribe Nail Tech shirt.
Yes,
I'm so excited. She's been a huge supporter of mine. She's just a great friend in the industry to me. And I always appreciate our little talks and messages back and forth. And I'm trying to think, when is the first time we met? Was that at Nail Camp East in Georgia?
I think it was at Nail Camp East. Yep.
I think so. That's awesome. Tiffani, first of all, introduce yourself and let's tell everybody a little bit about you. She is a distributor and educator with EGN, and she is the owner of Cordoza Nail Supply. So she does lots of things. She has online workshops, all kinds of stuff. And so she does a lot of things in the industry. So tell us a little bit about Tiffani. You're outside today, you're homeschooling.
Yeah.
We're in the midst of COVID-19. We're recording this in the midst of all that. So we are trying to be moms. We're trying to be school teachers. We're still trying to run our business. So let's talk for a while and tell me some stuff about you, Tiffani.
Okay. So I'm going to start, take it way back. I'll take it to the beginning. So when I was little, and I shared this in my keynote at Nail Camp, but when I was little, I wasn't like a normal child. My playing was creating businesses and mainly salons specifically. And so my grandma it has my salon menu hanging on her door from literally 30 years ago.
I love that.
And so I kind of feel like I was just chosen for this industry or to be a business owner. I went to beauty school to be a nail tech or to be a hairdresser, actually, which I thought I hated nails to begin with. And then I went to the Vegas show and I saw the nail industry, and I was walking around and I saw the educators sitting there teaching, and I was like, okay, one day I'm going to be sitting there and I'm going to be doing that, because it looks like so much fun to be able to just sit there and help other people. And I remember feeling so inspired when I was there. I didn't even really know about nails or like nails before I went there. I came back from the show. I ended up dropping doing hair, and I focused completely on nails. I didn't even want to do anything but nails after that. I became licensed in nails. I opened my own little nail shop, and it kind of just started from there. I wasn't necessarily planning on being a distributor. I knew I wanted to be an educator. I knew I was really interested in business, but at that time I was so wrapped up in just being a nail tech and the creativity side of it that I was kind of just focusing on clients and trying to get to that educator level. Well, I actually started with a different company to begin with. My grandma that lives in Oregon here should come and go down to Eugene and buy my beauty supplies for me because I was so busy. And she made friends with the beauty supply owner down there. And they said, this company's looking for educators. I think you should, send your granddaughter. And so my grandma came back. She's like, I want to send you to this education thing. The lady at the beauty supply recommended that you go. And I was like, oh, it's probably a hoax. There's no way. I just got out of beauty school. I'm going to get murdered. It's clear on the other side of the, states from me. But she's like, no, she said, I'll pay for it and you can reimburse me. And I want you to have this chance to do this. So I did, and I got accepted. And so that's kind of where I started with education. And I was with that company for about a year before I found Myra, who is the owner of Elegant Glass. And so then I started working with Myra I think it was in 2012. I think it was 2011 or 2012 when I started working with Myra, and I started just with glitter. We didn't really have a whole lot of other stuff at that point. We did, but we didn't. And Myra was really focused on the dip system and the fiberglass, and that's kind of how she had started. And so it kind of just spiraled from being a nail tech to being educator. And then next thing I knew, I was like, okay, if I'm educating, I could be easily be doing distribution. And then I started with the distribution side of it. And actually my husband started that for me. So we own a salon as well. So the salon that I originally started, we still own that. So it's called Be Polished Salon in Lebanon. We've moved locations a couple times. And right now we have about 14 girls that work in the salon. And so I would do nails, and my husband, while he was still going to Oregon State to get his bachelor's degree in business, he was doing the distribution for me. So he would kind of go out and do the delivery route, and he would ship orders, and he kind of did the product side of it, and I did the education side of it. So it was kind of amazing. We had this like great team thing going on, which I knew wasn't going to last forever. He was going to school to work in a different industry. So I knew it wasn't going to be something we're going to do forever, but it was really nice to be able to work together. I think my husband definitely appreciates what I do and appreciates the industry a lot, just because he was actually hands-on in it for a little while.
Right.
And he actually still works the trade shows with us when we do the trade shows. So most people probably know my husband already just from seeing him in Vegas and at the different shows. And then, so he's now into a different job. When he took his position for his career, he's like, okay, you need to make a decision. Either you need to do nails or you need to take this over, because I don't think that you're going to be able to handle both of them and the kids. And my hands were starting to break out. We didn't know what was going on with my hands at that time. And I was starting to have a lot of health problems, and it was just sitting at the desk all day really wasn't making it any better. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna quit doing nails, and then I'm gonna just do the distribution full time. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cut down half my clientele. I was gonna cut back, and then cutting back didn't go as planned because I'm a nail tech. I like to say yes to everyone. And so I'm like, oh, I can squeeze you in. Yeah, I could squeeze you in too. And you know how it goes. And so that ended up not working out so well. And so then I was like, okay, I'm going to really get rid of everybody. And I'm going to keep like two people I'm going to keep, just so I don't, lose it.
Right.
So I tried that for a couple months. And then it started to be like 2 turned into 4, turned into 12. And I'm like, okay, I can see this is like going back the other direction again. Mm-hmm. And so I told my husband, I just need to, I can't do it anymore. I can't be 2 places at once. I can't be present with a clientele and be giving my all to nail techs as well. Because what was happening was I was sitting at my desk thinking about, oh, I need to respond to that message. I need to ship that order. I need to do this. And then my client wasn't getting the attention they deserved. And then when I was shipping orders, I'm trying, and running the business side of it, I'm trying to also, deal with the client side of it. And so it ended up just kind of coming to, but I did that for about a year of that, not wanting to give it up yet. I was like, I still loved it. I still didn't want to fully give it up, but I knew it wasn't good for me to be trying to spread myself that thin. So I think it was in 2014 or 2015 that I actually left my salon. I pulled my distribution out of my salon. I packed up my nail desk, which was like the saddest day ever. And I told the girls, I'm like, I'm going to have a nail store and you guys are going to be on your own now, because I'm not going to be in here, because it was too tempting. Like when I knew my nail desk was sitting there, it's like, I can do nails. I can go sit out there and do nails, and then next thing I know, I'm kind of, I couldn't get that clean break when I was in the salon.
Right.
So I opened up my nail store. And that was when I finally quit taking clients, was when I was actually out of the salon. And then, so that was about in 2014 or 2015. And so ever since then, I've really kind of focused on business, I guess, more of it distribution and then business. I would say in 2016, 17 is when I really started to get into like the social media side of it, the education side of it, because I watched what I did in my own business and I saw how it was working and I could see where nail techs were really going wrong. And I think having that experience of being a brand new nail tech and being an educator really kind of gave me that really solid foundation of I know where things are kind of going wrong. I know what you need to do, but you can't do because you don't have the time to do it. And I think that that's kind of where my love for social media and then the business side of it really came in, was because it was a way that I could kind of serve the industry from my own experience without, I guess, fully stepping, I'm still doing product, but I just felt like it was my way to kind of keep connected and kind of help out other nail techs.
Right.
Especially ones that are kind of struggling with the business and technology side of it. So that is, I guess, up to speed. That was a lot. Sorry.
No,
That's
that
kind
was
of up to
great.
speed on my story. I do have 3 kids as well. I have a 7-year-old, almost 11, and almost 15-year-old. So I'm definitely very busy and homeschooling right now as well during this pandemic and being stuck at home. Well, not really stuck at home. To be honest, I kind of really like it. Um, I feel like I could definitely be like the Little House on the Prairie type person because I just could sit home all day and just like literally be with my animals. And so we have cows and chickens and pigs and we live on a farm. And so it's kind of, I kind of enjoy just being here. I think before this pandemic, I didn't realize how blessed we were, just to be able to live in this kind of environment. And I think I took it for granted before.
Right.
So it's been really nice to be here and soak up this, this environment. And going forward, I think once everything does reopen, I'm definitely going to make it more of a priority to not overlook the little things that I think I did a lot.
Isn't that the truth? I've noticed that it's made us step away and be like, wow, okay, I was really busy. Our lives were busy.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just with us with working and running a business and doing nails and educating and just all the stuff that we're doing, because our story is a lot of same. We do a lot of the same things, but it's just like our kids are busy. They're doing all these things. And when everything had to come to a halt, it's kind of like, like, it's been hard and heavy, but then on the other aspect, it's been like, this has been kind of nice to cut all this stuff out. And then it's kind of making me reevaluate. Do I want to add that stuff back on my plate again, as far as like everything the kids are in and you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like a check, it's like,
Yeah.
But I love that you are, you're right there. Your kids are running around in the backyard. The one just brought you an egg and showed you an egg.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But that's what we have to do right now. We're working from home. And so things are different. And this is just what our life is right now. But I love everything you're doing. And what I really wanted to talk to you about today too, is because I have taken Tiffani's the social media class.
Yeah.
And you talked a lot. We hear a lot about Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those things. But the one thing I took away from it, which I have not sat down and figured everything out with it, is having a business account on Pinterest. So you use Pinterest as a big platform for you, and I have not. Like, there was a time where I would upload my photos and yada yada, but I don't have anything connected to them to bring them back to my website. All those things, I haven't sat down and implemented what I learned in your class, and some of it I still don't really understand very well. And so what I really want you to do today, if you can share with everybody, talk a little bit about Pinterest and, what are the benefits? How, maybe some, like, why do you feel like it's an important platform and why we should be using it as nail techs, educators, so forth, and kind of a little bit about how you do it and what's your takes on Pinterest?
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoy Pinterest a lot. I will be honest, in the beginning I hated Pinterest, especially when I was um I think right at the tail end of me doing nails, Pinterest kind of was starting to really like come out, and I think that at that time I was like, "Ugh, I don't want to see another Pinterest picture from a client. Like I'm
Yes.
over the Pinterest pictures." And so I kind of got this like stigma in my head that I didn't like Pinterest because I felt like it was just a place where people were going and then sending, and I'm like, those are press on, like those aren't even real. And I just
Right.
got this like mindset about Pinterest that I just didn't like it. I didn't want to use it. I wanted to use it to like look at recipes, and I wanted to use it for crafting.
Mm-hmm.
But for nails, I'm like, just get it away.
Yeah.
And and then once I really got into my business, and it was actually my business coach that kind of like was like, Tiffany, I think you need to take a look at Pinterest through a different set of eyes. Like, I think you need to look at this from the standpoint of what Pinterest really is. And Pinterest is a search engine for one. So it's not meant to be used. It's really not social media at all.
No.
It's not meant to be used as a platform where you're communicating and that kind of thing. Pinterest is more meant as a place for you to go and search out things. And so once I started looking at it like that, more of like a business, like a strategy of it, I guess you would say, it was when I was like, okay, this is actually genius because you have boards. So you have boards that you can create, and then you have pins that you can create. But what's really interesting about Pinterest is that you can link those pins and boards to where you want them to go. And so what you can use it for nail techs, the best way to use it is to use it as a virtual photo album of the services that you offer. And so what you can do is you can create boards. You can create a business Pinterest account, and then you can create boards inside that account. And however you want to lay that out and structure it is kind of up to you. You could do like green gel polish nails, pink gel polish nails, Easter nails, spring nails, summer nails, stiletto nails. Depending on the type of nail tech you are, you can kind of structure those boards however you want. But when you name the boards, you want to make sure that you're think about the keywords that people are searching when they're on Pinterest. So that's what's really the way Pinterest works is really through keywords. That's how the algorithm responds best. And so you need to know, okay, what are people searching on Pinterest, and is that title in my board name? Is that title, or is those words in my my title of my pin? And so using the search terms like pink gel nails, that's something that people are looking for. So you're going to get more hits on that pin.
Right.
So as a nail tech, you're going to, create these boards of your services or your inspiration, and then you're going to upload your images of nails that fit into that category. And then you're going to write a little description about it. In the title, you'll say what it is. Make sure that when you're doing that, you're paying really close attention to keywords though, because that's where you want to utilize those in Pinterest because it's a search engine. So it's going to pull when people search terms, that's what it's going to pull. And you want your pin to pull up when people search those names or those topics.
Okay.
And then, but what you do is you'll link it to your booking site or your Facebook page or your Instagram or wherever you want it to go. And so as a nail tech, the best way to use it is to, like I said, create those boards. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have your clients go to your Pinterest page and then have them repin a couple of your nails that they like. So what's going to happen is that your clients now pinning your nails. So they're not just nails that are like out in Pinterest that they found. They're actually going to your boards and they're pinning your nails. Well, when they pin it to their album titled nails, the people that follow them are going to see that Becky just pinned this photo to her board nails. But so I guess how that works is that Becky's friends, so your friends, are going to see that you just pinned that, and they can click on it, and then they can get to your nail tech. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
I hope I explained that the right way.
Yeah. And could you actually even like after you upload one of your clients' nails, could you send them the link and say, hey, I just posted one of your nails on Pinterest.
Yeah.
Can you pin it on your
Yep.
page, and because of
Yep.
course they're going to be like, oh, those are my nails. And of course they're going
Yeah.
to pin it. And then
Yep.
they're going to brag that these are my nails. And then that many more people are going to see it. And it's just going to
Yep.
be free advertising for you, right?
Yep. And the goal is to get your clients pinning, because if your clients are pinning, it's shooting it to all of their people that are following them.
That's
And
in
so
their
you're,
circle.
that's in their circle, and their circle is in your community,
Right.
most likely.
Yeah.
So that's the concept of it, is that you're trying to reach people that are local to you. And I think that that's what nail techs in general really struggle with social media, is that we're amazing social media marketers to other nail techs, because that's what's comfortable for us. That's what we love. And we're like super good at attracting other nail techs, but we're terrible at trying to get clients. We're terrible at trying to like get right down in a 30-mile radius of our shop and figure out where, get those people to us from social media.
Yeah, I think that's a huge mistake that people make, is even with their Instagram and stuff. It's like, yeah, we're posting pictures of nails all the time and so on and so forth. But most of the followers that are coming in are nail techs, and that's not helping our business. Now, for me as an educator, that's great. I want nail techs to follow me because I'm fully booked and I'm not taking any more clients. But I see other nail techs that are struggling trying to get a clientele. They're making a huge mistake because they're not attracting people in their area. They're attracting people 6-7 states away from them, and that's not going to do you any good trying to gain a clientele. You need to be attracting the people that are in your town.
Yep.
And so there's just, I think a lot of people struggle with social media because just because they have a huge following doesn't mean they have a big clientele, and vice versa. I might not have a huge following, but I'm fully booked.
Yep.
So you really can't judge somebody's page by how many followers they have,
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say honestly that if a page that has, you can tell like a really good page by the interaction that is on the page. So it doesn't matter how many, like I could have 1,000 people on my page and someone else could have 100,000 people, but I could have 900 people interacting of my 1,000 people, and there could only be 100 of the 100,000 per, you know what I'm saying? Like it really matters the interaction that's going on.
Right.
I honestly kind of think a tighter circle is a little bit better, not having such a huge following.
Yeah.
Because you don't get as much interaction. It's like you just have followers, but they're not really anybody that's interacting. They're not really your people, if that
and
makes
not
sense.
necessarily personal. Like it's not like really like they're true followers. It's almost kind of like they're fake followers, because what's the point if you have a bunch of numbers, but it's not benefiting your business, or,
Yep.
like you said, they're not interacting. They're not coming to you. No, they're not buying from you. They're not getting services from you. So what's the point in, having that many followers? But Pinterest, I think, is an interesting thing. And like you said, it is used as a search engine. And so, tagging the different, whether it's the shape, the square, because I know that some people will be like, they'll just search like stiletto nails, like you said, or if they're wanting, they know that they want the color pink, they're searching pink stiletto nails, and then that's the picture they bring into you as a nail tech, and then it's like, oh, can you do this, but so having all those right words for each picture is a great idea.
And Pinterest, you can recycle your content as well. So I would definitely recommend getting an app or a service like Tailwind. Tailwind is free even, as long as you do under a certain amount of pins per month, I believe. But what you can do on Tailwind is you can loop it's called like an auto loop. So you can take your pins that get the most like pings, and it'll just automatically repurpose them. And so in order for Pinterest to be most effective, you have to be pinning like 10 times a day. And so what this Tailwind service does is it automatically shoots the repurposed pins into your time slots that are most popular or of your audience. And so it kind of does it for you. It's actually really awesome.
That is cool. And so spell that out for everybody so they can find that.
It's called Tailwind. It's TAILWIND. I think it works best if you use it on desktop or your laptop, but there is an app as well.
And it's for Pinterest specifically.
Yep, you can use it for other social media platforms, but it works best for Pinterest.
Okay. See, I didn't even know that you could do that stuff on Pinterest. So that's what I mean is I feel like it's kind of, people don't know that much about Pinterest. We know Pinterest as a nail tech because our clients bring these pictures in. And like you said, it's annoying to us.
Yep.
It's like that set takes 5 hours. You have no idea what's even entailed in that. And that's going to cost you $200,
Oh, yeah.
For me, like I don't know all this other stuff about using it as a platform like that for advertising and things like that. So that's really good to know. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
And tell me, you were just telling me before we came on, you have something else. You have a new Facebook page and you're maybe writing a cookbook or something.
Yes.
Some recipes. What do you got going on?
I know. I sometimes I think I just need to like calm down just a little bit and not be like so proactive, but I just don't think it's in my DNA. Mm-mm. So you'll see lots of me, I guess, because I can't ever just sit still. But I recently found out that I'm completely dairy intolerant, and I'm also intolerant to sugar, any artificial sugars, which is why my hands have been breaking out, and I've been having such a problem with like my skin. And then my weight would fluctuate a lot. And I'm like, I just don't understand what is going on with me. I couldn't figure it out. I've been going to multiple medical doctors, dermatologists, and I went to acupuncture. And then finally I went to like a natural doctor, and she did a blood test, and she's like, oh yeah, you're definitely intolerant to dairy and sugar. And so I modified my diet, and within 2 days, I felt like a completely different person. Wow. I've been on that. I've been eating that way now for about 6 to 8 weeks. And it's like my hands are so much better. I feel like a completely different person, and it's really not that hard. It's actually super easy. But what I was finding in my like journey of this is that it's really hard to find recipes for people that are like me, you can find like vegan recipes, you can find gluten-free recipes, you can find sugar-free recipes, but they're not always that great in my opinion. And so I'm like, okay, how can I merge the two? Because obviously like I live on a farm, so I'm not vegan, we raise all of our a lot of our food. And so I'm like, how can I incorporate like my lifestyle and this lifestyle together? And so I think I'm going to write a cookbook. I have a group called the Cordoza Farmhouse where you get to see my cows and my chickens and our pigs and kind of like our life, I guess. But I have been putting my recipes in there just to try to get some feedback from people, like to cook the recipe and just let me know, like, do you think it tastes good? Was it easy? Did you feel like you could make it in like 25 minutes? Because my goal with this is, I think a lot of people have these allergies. They just don't know it. And my kind of circle of people are nail techs. Nail techs don't have a lot of time to eat. It's like everybody knows, like a nail tech usually doesn't even eat all day because they're sitting at their desk. And so my goal with this recipe is obviously to appeal to anyone that has the allergy, but also to make it really simple for nail techs to be able to put together something when they get off work or the night before, that they could meal prep and take it for lunches the next day. So I guess just trying to kind of help people get on a journey of better health and taking care of themselves. So that's my new venture, I guess you could say, is this cookbook this recipe book, that I'm going to I'm going to attempt to write. My friend Alicia is a designer, a graphic designer. So I kind of pitched her my idea. I was like, okay, what do you think about this? And she's like, I like it. I think you should totally do it. And I'll make it for you. I'm like, okay. So she's like, just send me the recipes and I'll make it pretty. I'm like, oh, that works for
You're
me.
like, done. That's half the battle is organizing all that.
Yep.
That is so awesome. And I feel like so many of us nail techs are the same way. Like we have to have a million things going at the same time or we're not normal. Like, don't you feel like we're just like go-getters, boss babes? Like my husband tells me that all the time. He's like, I don't think you cannot ever not have something going on because it drives you crazy. And I'm like, it really is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cause I have to be doing something or I'm not okay. It's like, what else can we take on? He's like, you take on so many things. You've got to stop doing that. And it's just like, it's just our nature. We're creative and we're always thinking of the next thing. And that's what I love about you is because you're a boss babe. You're a true boss babe, just like the rest of us. Right.
Yep. Yep. I'm obsessed with it. And I like serving other people. I feel like that's kind of my thing is I don't know. That's what makes my heart happy is to serve others.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why I get myself into all these like little, things that I do is because I'm really trying to kind of feed whatever makes my heart happy. And I enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I end up on all these little tangents because I'm trying to, it's working for me. So I'm like, if it's working for me, it's going to work for other people,
Yeah. That's why you're one of my people because it fills your cup to help others. And I know that about you. And when I met you and watching you that's the kind of person you are. And I love that because it's just like me, educating and helping others and just, I don't know, it fills your cup. And that's what gives me my high. Like I'm not okay if I'm not filling that cup of like helping others. And so that's what I love about you. And I'm just so glad that we're friends and that I've met you. And I
that
love
must be
that
we
you're
get along
just,
so good.
and you're just following your arrow. Like I always tell everybody, follow your arrow of what feels good inside you and go for it. And you have to do it in fear. Like it's scary to do things for the first time and to branch out and put yourself out there. But, once you do it, it's just great things happen and more doors open for you. So I love that.
It's a little scary, but I like being scared. I like being uncomfortable. So,
but it's good. And just like you did, so we were at Nail Camp West in October. And so you also had a big allergic type thing that you had going on with your eyes and stuff while you were there.
Yeah.
But you were asked to be a keynote speaker. And I remember you were scared to death. Like it was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like you've always wanted to do it. And you just got up there and you did it and you just did it in fear. Like you were scared to death, but you did it. And like you said, after it was over, you were like, I did it and it wasn't that bad. And then you were like so proud of yourself. And you just being on the podcast today, you're just talking, you're telling your story and there's doesn't seem to be any fear in you about it. And so I always encourage people and I, praise you for just getting up there as scared as you were at, Nail Camp and you got up there and just told your story and you educated everyone and you did awesome. So I was so proud to be there that day. That was
Thank you.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Tiffani. Is there anything else you want to say before you go? We obviously want you to put out all your social media links because our tribe here, I try to encourage everybody to follow each other, be a supporter of each other. And so I want you to tell everybody where they can find you. And just reach out. I'm sure Tiffani would love for you to find her on social media, reach out to her with any questions you have and follow all those pages that you've got. So tell everybody where we can find you.
Okay, yeah, you can find me I'm on Instagram and Facebook, just Cordoza Nail Supply. And then I have my Facebook group, the Cordoza Concept. And if you're interested in recipes, you can find me at the Cordoza Farmhouse.
I love it.
And then on Pinterest as well, you guys can go check out my Pinterest if you want. It's more set up. I'm not servicing clients. So it's more set up as a nail tech supply page. But you guys can go there and check that out and just get some ideas as well. I did want to say one thing about Pinterest that I forgot.
That's fine.
Is that you can now link up your videos on Pinterest as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Pinterest is now allowing you to put videos up. So it's great for educators. You can put a video, a ping up to your video, and use it that way. So that'd be great for you guys,
Yeah.
educators too, to put, some short clips up that link back to a full video.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Tiffani. And you guys can catch me on Pinterest also, but I don't use it very good, so don't take me as an example. But Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Nailed by Becky. And then I have a brand new group. So it's Tribe Nail Tech. It's a VIP group so that you can be the first to see the different clothing line that I come out with. I have the Tribe Nail Tech wear. And then obviously, please follow me and subscribe here to the Tribe Nail Tech podcast. And I have all my online classes at nailteched.com and also at the nailsource.biz websites. So anyways, you can find us all over the place. But we hope that you follow us, reach out to us if you have any questions. And Tiffani, it was so good to hear from you today. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast today.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was an honor.
Thank you,
It was
Tiffani.
my very first one. So
I love it. Hey, I'm not that good at it yet, but I'm learning. So I'm so glad that you were patient with me today and just took the chance and came on.
Yeah, it's okay. We can learn together.
That's right. Thank you, Tiffani.
Thank you.
See ya, everyone.
Bye.